All right, everyone, welcome back. We like to go deep on this show, and today, well, we're diving into the deep end of the pool.
You could say that, yeah. Deep end for sure.
We're talking Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin guy.
Oh yeah, he's all in on Bitcoin.
But it's bigger than Bitcoin, right? We're talking about this whole digital asset policy thing he's been pushing, like a whole vision for how the U.S. economy could run on this stuff. Uh, yeah, it's ambitious.
It is. Ambitious is a good word.
So we've been digging into all of it, his research papers, policy documents, all that.
Even some of the think pieces and opinion stuff, see what people are saying about it, the good and the bad.
Yeah, exactly. And, we want to break it all down for you, see if this is just like a tech bro fantasy or if there's something real here.
Because, some of it, when you really get into it, it's pretty interesting.
Oh, for sure. So to start off, I guess, what's the big idea? What's Saylor actually trying to do here?
He wants to change everything. Like literally how money works, how we think about value. He thinks digital assets are like the future of finance.
Okay, but what does that even mean, right? Like digital assets, what are we talking about?
Right. So he breaks it down into these like 5 categories. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, a way to understand this whole world.
Okay, so walk me through it. Like category number 1, what's that?
Digital commodities. Think Bitcoin, basically.
Bitcoin, yeah, I get that. But he calls it a commodity, like gold or oil.
Exactly. But, and this is the key difference, there's no like physical thing. It exists purely digitally.
So no, like Bitcoin mines or anything.
Nope. Just the network, the computers all agreeing that it exists, that it has value.
Huh. Okay, so that's the first one. What else?
Next up, digital securities. This one's maybe a little easier to wrap your head around.
Okay, also.
It's like, imagine stocks and bonds, but instead of, pieces of paper or whatever, they're all digital on a blockchain.
So like buying and selling stock, but like instantly.
Yeah, exactly. And, you can see everything. Total transparency.
So that's 2. We're making progress. What's next?
All right, now we're getting into the maybe more complicated stuff. Digital tokens.
Tokens. Like what, at an arcade?
No. I mean, kinda, but not really. Think of them like digital keys.
Keys.
Yeah, like keys that can unlock something, access to like information or a service, even physical goods.
Okay, give me an example because I'm still a little lost.
Say a musician, right. They could use tokens to like give their fans exclusive content or let them vote on like what songs they play at a concert.
Okay, so it's like a way to interact with fans, but also maybe give them like special perks.
Exactly. But it could be anything really. Like a company could use tokens to track like their supply chain, make sure everything's legit.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm starting to get it. So digital commodities, digital securities, digital tokens. What's next?
This one you've probably heard of, even if you don't totally understand it. Digital NFTs.
NFTs, yeah. Everyone's buying like monkey pictures and stuff.
That's part of it, but Saylor's thinking bigger. Like imagine owning a piece of digital art, but knowing for sure that it's the real deal, not a copy.
So it's about like ownership, proving you own something digital.
Yeah, exactly. But it could be way more than art, like property deeds, medical records, patents, anything that needs to be unique and secure.
So like a digital signature, but way more powerful.
Exactly. Way more powerful and, impossible to forge.
All right. So we're almost there. Last category, what is it?
Digital stablecoins. These are a little different.
How so?
They're still digital, but they're designed to be like stable in value, like pegged to the US dollar or gold.
Why would you need that? Isn't the whole point of crypto that it like goes up in value?
Oh, yeah, some people think that, but stablecoins are more for like everyday transactions, like
Yeah.
buying coffee or sending money to someone.
So if like Bitcoin is too volatile, you use a stable coin instead.
Exactly. It's more predictable, more reliable.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's all 5 categories, right? Digital commodities, securities, tokens, NFTs, and stablecoins.
You got it.
And Saylor thinks these 5 things are the future. Like this is how we should be thinking about money.
Yeah, that's his argument. But, he doesn't just say, hey, use this stuff. He's got this whole policy proposal.
Right, like how to actually make this all work.
Yeah.
So what's in that?
Well, there are 3 main parts he calls pillars: a rights and responsibilities framework, ethical conduct, and accountability.
Okay, break those down for me. What does all that even mean?
So the first one, rights and responsibilities, it's like setting the ground rules, making sure everyone knows how to play fair, protecting investors, making sure exchanges are secure, things like that.
So kind of like the rules we already have for like the stock market and stuff.
Yeah, kinda. But for the digital world, it's got to be adapted for all the new tech and stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the next one? Ethical conduct. Like, what does that mean? Don't be a jerk.
Well, yeah, there's that. But it's also about like the specific challenges of digital assets. Like, how do you prevent insider trading when it's all decentralized? How do you make sure everyone's being transparent when transactions are like pseudonymous?
So it's like the old rules still apply, but it's harder to enforce them in this new world.
Exactly. And that's where the third pillar comes in, accountability.
Okay, so how do you hold people accountable when everything's like digital and decentralized?
That's the million-dollar question. Saylor's policy talks about like strong enforcement, cooperation between governments, new tools for tracking digital assets. It's a big challenge, but it's got to be solved if this whole thing is going to work.
Right, because if people can just like cheat and get away with it, then the whole system falls apart.
Exactly. No one's going to trust it.
So, okay, we've got the 5 categories of digital assets and the 3 pillars of the policy. What does Saylor say this could actually do? Like, why should we even care?
Well, he thinks this could make the U.S. the leader in the digital asset market, like the global hub for all this stuff.
But are we even close to that now?
Not really. We're behind, to be honest. Other countries are moving way faster.
So we got to catch up.
If we want to be like the leaders, yeah. And Saylor thinks his policy is the way to do it.
But what's in it for us? Like regular people, not just like Wall Street types.
That's a good question. Saylor talks about like faster, cheaper transactions, more access to financial services, and get this, more innovation.
Innovation. Like, what does that even mean in this context?
Like new businesses, new products, new ways of doing things. Like imagine a whole financial system that's built on transparency and efficiency.
Okay, I can see how that could be cool. But, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. What about the downsides? Like, what could go wrong?
Oh, there are definitely risks. Security is a big one. Like, what if someone hacks into the system and steals everyone's money?
Yeah, that would be bad. What else?
And, criminals could use this stuff too, like for money laundering or, all sorts of shady stuff.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Nope. And, this is all new territory. There are probably risks we haven't even thought of yet.
Right, because we're kind of making this up as we go along.
Exactly. So it's important to be cautious, do your research, and, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
So big picture, what do you think? Is Saylor onto something here? Or is this just like a pipe dream?
I think it's too early to say, for sure. Like, we're at the very beginning of all this, but it's definitely a conversation worth having.
Yeah, and it's not just about, like, tech and finance. This stuff could impact all of us.
Absolutely. Like, think about your own life. How would you use digital assets? Would you trust a digital deed to your house? These are the questions we need to be thinking about.
Because this could be the future, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be a total flop. Either way, it's going to be interesting to watch.
That's for sure. This is a story that's just getting started.
All right, everyone, that's our deep dive into Michael Saylor's digital asset policy vision. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into something crazy and fascinating. See you then.